What's up, scholars? We are back, and today we are talking about some weather. Yes, we've been talking about the weather, showing you a couple videos of how the weather changes every single day. And there's a bunch of characteristics, like characteristics are things that we use to describe, things that we use that can, you can also say there's a bunch of things that are associated with the weather. There's a bunch of categories of things that we measure in regards to the weather. Like today, I was outside, and in the video you saw it was cloudy. Well, it's not cloudy every day. It was just cloudy today. Yes, it's cloudy right now. And it's not even fully cloudy. It's just partly cloudy. And that is a different way that we describe the weather. Just think about all the different ways that you can describe how the sky is outside on various days. On some days we can say, oh my God, it's so hot. On other days, we can say, ooh, it's cold, I'm freezing. We might need our jackets and things of that nature. Our clothes can even point to the weather. Because what? When it's cold outside, what? We wear a jacket, yes, and long sleeve. We put these little knit hats over our head, and we look so cute and so cuddly, right? Another characteristic of weather is that one day it might be rainy. The rain might be falling, and it might be a lot of precipitation or a little precipitation. The word we use for the rain that falls from that precipitation, things that fall from the rain falling for precipitation. Yes, and that is a part of the weather. It's so cool because weather is constantly changing. And one really cool way that we can look at the weather, kind of the word, and remember it, is we can say weather is where we are. Weather is where we are. Right now, today, at this moment, weather is where we are. And that's why the weather is constantly changing, because every day we wake up to a brand new pattern of weather. Weather is very different from the climate. The climate is the weather over a long period of time. So weather is what's happening outside right now. And there's some tools that we use whenever we're talking about measuring the weather. One of these tools is a thermometer, and we've talked about thermometers a lot. Thermometers measure the amount of thermal energy, right? So thermal energy can go up, thermal energy can go down. When the sun is out, there's more thermal energy, so we're going to see the chemical in the thermometer rise higher and higher and higher. But when the sun is not shining brightly, or maybe on cloudy days, or maybe on days during the winter months, whenever we're not getting that direct sunlight, we're going to notice that the thermometer is going to go down and down and down, and our clothes are going to change. Our clothes are going to change because the weather is changing around us. Now remember, Fahrenheit is not what we use in science. In science, we use Celsius. In the United States, we use Fahrenheit, but that's just because we like to be different. And when you're talking in scientific terms, we always use Celsius because we have this common language that the whole world speaks, so that we can share accurate measurements and accurate findings and all those kinds of things. And that's wrapped around the metric system. So we have our thermometer. Another really cool tool is called an anemometer. Yes. And this tool actually measures the wind direction. So if I was to blow this, see if I'm strong enough to blow it. Oh, but just blow it in the air. Let's see. So an anemometer is going to show us the speed and the direction of the wind. And you'll notice that the faster it goes, this will move up and down. It'll show you different kinds. So it's a really cool tool. Another thing that we can use when we're outside is this fancy little thing, and this is called a compass. Let me lean in so you can see the compass, right? And a compass is going to tell us our directions. We know that the sun rises in the east and it sets in the west, so we can tell what direction exactly the winds are coming from. Like it might be a northeasterly wind, or it might be a southern wind, like all of those kinds of things. And you'll see it. If you ever watch the Weather Channel, it'll literally tell you the direction the wind is coming, the direction the storm is going, all that kind of stuff. And we as scientists can actually figure that out using these two tools in conjunction. Is that not amazing? Another really cool tool is a rain gauge. Now, a rain gauge is exactly for rain. You're going to see the numbers on there in milliliters, all the way from 200 to 1,000 milliliters. And this is just a very simple tool. So if it's raining and we want to know how much rainfall is covering an area, that's what I want to know. I want to know how much rain fell today in my city where I live, right outside my house, I can figure that out. All I have to do is take my rain gauge and stick it outside, and then we watch the water fill up, and it will measure the amount of rain that has fallen, and that's what we use rain gauges for. In fact, the Weather Channel will tell you that this much rain has fallen in this area over this period of time. It's really, 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 really cool. These are all tools. Meteorologists use really, really fancy versions of these tools. Now, meteorologists are scientists who study and tell us about the weather in great detail. So if you ever want to be a scientist who's interested in weather, not like Twister, like tornado chasers, like none of that. Twister's probably too old for you guys anyway, but for your teachers will know about Twister. Everybody knows about Twister. We were all horrified that moment that the tornado took the truck. It's a crazy moment. But for any of you that like the weather, you can look into meteorology, becoming a meteorologist, and that's what you can do as a profession and get paid and be able to give people valuable information that they can use in life. So remember, the weather is where we are, and weather is a daily measurement. It's measurement for a short period of time. It is not the climate. Climate is the weather measured over 30 years or more, but we'll talk about that on another video, on another day, for another time. But for now, we will be back on soon with more amazing science.